Welcome everyone, Lonnie Payne here with another pinball video for you. This is part 3 of my Apollo 13 restorations, which covers the second half of the Playfield Teardown and the techniques that I use when I restore a pinball machine. So if you're ready, let's just get going. Alright, got the Playfield all cleaned off and just cleaned with just regular Novus 2. And that's all I usually do at the very beginning. I don't want to do too much work to the playfield because I want to make sure I have a scanned copy before I really do any work. So if the unfortunate event something screws up, I have a digital copy that I can start working with. So just clean it up, get really looking as nice as I can with the Novus 2. And then I'm going to scan it. I'll even leave the Mylar on right here until I get the scan done. And this game originally had Mylar and was pulled off, and I think that's what caused the ghosting the insert. Somebody didn't pull it off the way they should have. So you can see I got quite a few inserts that have ghosting on them. Some of them are really bad. And I'm going to try and do some fixing. I don't know if I can do it or not. I'm going to experiment with it. Got a little bit of damage on the timer right there. So that I may end up having to just cut that out. And this third moon over here has got some damage. So I'll probably have to cut all those out just so when I put them back together, they'll look uniform. But of course, obviously I'll document that as we go. But overall, I mean, it's not a too bad looking playfield, but it does have a little bit of damage on it. You can see on these arrows, I'm going to try and get it to where you can actually see the reflection of how that's actually almost lifted a little bit there. This one as well. I don't know if you can if you picture that, but you can actually see it moving. So got to get all that fixed. But first thing is we'll scan it and then we'll start working from there. All right, this is the scanner I use. It's an HP ScanJet 4670. This is an old scanner. They don't make them anymore, so you'll have to find it on eBay or something like that. I don't plan on ever stitching this together, but just in case I need to, they recommend, the software I use recommends a 20% overlap so it can, the way it stitches. So I've actually got marks on here. As I start scanning, I'll scan, the upper corner, and then I'll kind of remember where this little point is, and I'll put the scanner at that place with this point, scan it again. So I've got that little overlap that if the software needs it, I'll be able to get that done. I'm going to get the whole playfield scanned in 300 DPI, which is just a good working scan. And then I'll probably go back on every insert or section of inserts and do a scan at 600 DPI. So if I really need to start editing, because I might actually have to, if I can't fix this ghosting, I'll have to cut out the graphic on the insert and actually redo all the inserts. And I want the highest quality scan to do that work. So I'll end up scanning the whole thing, get it in the computer, and then we'll start the real work. All right, so here we do the first one. Well, actually I've done one row, but here's the second scan. So pretty neat because it's a see-through scanner, so you can kind of see exactly what it's doing. So it scans it, loads it in the computer, and then you go through importing it, and we'll look at them all when we get them all done. All right, got the standard playfield scans in there, and you just see, so I got each of the segments in there, and that's a 300 DPI. So now I'm going to go back and just do all the insert groups in a higher resolution just for future reference in case I need to do the insert decals. All right, there's a little piece of Mylar right here. This is where the ball drops down. So while we're restoring the playfield, we need to take this off so we can get the clear coat on there, and then we can decide at the end whether we want to put another piece over there to protect the clear or not. I'm not going to get into the debate about which method you use. That's up to you to research. I use the free spray method, which is just a can of duster. You hold it right side up and it's just air. Turn it upside down. You get the cold stuff. So I just want I'm not responsible for what happens to your play field. You got to do the research, decide whether you want to take the risk. Had pretty good success with it. The only time I've ever had any artwork come up is on a couple inserts on Back to the Future, but I've never had any other problems. So we're going to do this and take this little piece of Mylar off. You got to freeze it out, it releases the glue from the plastic normally, and then we'll take the glue off using another method here in a second. Starting to come up. There we go. Completely off. So wipe down a little bit. And it came off really clean. Now we just have a little bit of, you can actually feel it. It's a little bit sticky. So the glue is actually still on there. And so now we'll use another chemical and method to get that off. And I'll show you that here in a second. All right, now what we're going to do to get this glue off is we're going to use a little bit of rubbing alcohol and flour. And I know it sounds weird, but that's the combination. And you're just going to rub it with your fingers, and it's going to wad that glue up and bring it out. It gets messy, but it works. It's like you almost think it's not working, and then all of a sudden you'll feel it start to ball up under your finger. And then what I usually do is I clean a little section, and then I'll go ahead and clean it up just to kind of keep the mess to a minimum here. I don't know if you can see it though, this whole section from here to here is already gone, and then we'll just keep on working with it. Now, one of the things I use the most on play fields and when I'm working with anything in the cabinet too is I like this naphtha, and that's a good way to get any oils, grease, everything off your play field. We'll use this a lot before we clear coat. But now that we got this kind of cleaned up, we're going to do a final cleaning with naphtha to get all that residue off, and we'll see how she looks. If it wasn't clean, you'll actually feel the glue dragging on your cloth. Feels good. All right, so here it is. You can see it's really nice under where the Mylar was. It's all cleaned up. No glue residue left. Got a little bit of an edge, just a little bit right there. You kind of see the little white. That'll be easily touched up with black paint, and you know, when we clear it and everything, it'll it'll clean up really nicely, but got a little, just you can feel it just a hair there, so we'll get that fixed. But other than that, it came off really nice. You can normally you can kind of see where it was, where the edge is, but once we clear, all that'll blend in together, and then like I said, we might put a piece down there just to kind of protect it. But now the playfield is clean, and we'll start the restoration. I normally don't do much till I clear it the first time, because if you mess something up now, it's hard to fix. Once we get a layer of clear on there, you can start making adjustments. But I've got to figure out these inserts, because if you make a painting mistake, let's say when it's cleared already, you can sand it off and it's no big deal, and you just keep on working. But if you do that now, you're in trouble. But I've got to see if I can figure out these inserts, and that'll be the next step. And then once we get that done, we should be ready to clear it. All right, everyone, this has been part 3 of the series on my Apollo 13, which covers the second half of the Playfield Teardown and the techniques I use. So we'll get ready for the actual restoration of the playfield in the next part. Remember, if you like what you see, please like, subscribe, share, and I'll see you on the next one. We'll get working on the actual restoration of the playfield in the next segment. Should really think about what I'm going to say before I hit the play button or record button.